volunteer support, leadership and management. This is practice area 3 of the life cycle. So you've already recruited and engaged, you're welcomed on board, and you've got this part afterwards. So good volunteer leadership creates a motivating environment for everyone, not just volunteers. This practice area recognises that volunteers are not a free resource. They need support, leadership and management to be effective in their roles. So volunteering activities are supported by appropriate leadership and resourcing. Second principle, volunteer programs are managed by, supported and resourced volunteer managers. And final principle, people with the responsibility for volunteers have sufficient resources and training to effectively do their job. So as you're thinking about these principles and about your own role, do you feel you have the support you need to manage volunteers effectively? If not, what can you do to address this? I want to talk a little bit about motivators, which are different to motivations for joining your organisation. One of the reasons is why they're joining, but there are other motivators as well, which are really important to think about. So in your role as a volunteer leader, whether you're a coordinator or a manager or whatever your role is, it's important that you have the time and resource to establish your volunteers' motivators. When you know their motivators, it can really help you craft the volunteer experience to match these, which can, in the long run, help you retain the volunteers for as long as you need them and ensure they have a rewarding, worthwhile volunteer experience with your organisation. So manage and lead. So I'm thinking for you here, what opportunities can you create and offer to help your volunteers grow and develop? Do you need to obtain more funding, resource, or time to make this happen? Who can help you with this? You can also provide the support and leadership to help your volunteers grow and develop when you have that own support yourself in your organisation, but you need to be enabled to do that. So you can also ask your existing experienced volunteers to help volunteers grow and develop. So your existing volunteers can step up and provide support and leadership to new volunteers. This is a really great development opportunity for your existing and hopefully loyal volunteers as well. Managing challenging behaviour is really essential as a volunteer leader. So it's helpful to learn how to manage this. So why should we have the courage to have challenging conversations with our volunteers? Why do you think that is? So managing performance matters. So make sure you keep your volunteers engaged all the time. I must admit, when I've been a volunteer manager myself, you're so busy doing the doing, you don't always feel you have enough time to keep your volunteers engaged because you're so busy, you're so reactive a lot of the time. But it's a really good investment of your time if you can get to know your volunteers and keep engaged with them. And address behaviour, as we've talked about, really as early on as you can. So a volunteer knows what's not acceptable really early on. Establishing boundaries of the volunteer is extremely important. Whatever role you're doing as a volunteer, you need to know where the boundaries are within that organisation. And have systems in place so that volunteers can raise those concerns, whatever that looks like for your current reality. So I want you to think about, how do you currently check in with your volunteers? What do you do? Is it text? Is it email? Is it phone calls? Is it a WhatsApp group? What does that look like for you? Could this be improved in some way? And really think about, could you invite your volunteers to be involved in the decisions that could affect them? That really does help build that volunteer-centric culture. If they're involved in strategic decisions that might influence their experience with your organisation as a volunteer.